What's up, everyone? It's your host, Ghost, coming back with a, coming back with a. Oh wait, hold on, I gotta put on my black banner. Yeah, that beautiful banner, right? Anyways, this is your host, Ghost, coming back with another wonderful video, wonderfully terrible video. So we got a little bit to talk about today. Some new news on the Andrew Tate BBC comes up. The BBC miraculously finds another Sophie. Um, those who don't understand the reference and hadn't watched Andrew Tate's interview with the BBC, Sophie is let's see, how do I describe it? No-faced, mysterious woman that the BBC found and is accusing Andrew of basically backing up the claims that he is being uh, not charged with, but charged with. I guess makes sense. The reason he went to jail is what Sophie is claiming, but Sophie isn't part of the victims that Andrew Tate's being accused of in Romania. She apparently just went to the BBC and said, "Yeah, absolutely, everything they're saying about Andrew's correct." Weird. And now, just days after Andrew Tate does his interview with the BBC finds another Sophie. Oh, and FYI, the BBC found the first Sophie too, and the Sophies only talk to the BBC. So, as far as I know. But anyways, so after all that, the BBC has found another Sophie. Now, her name's obviously not Sophie, but her claims are probably as credible as Sophie's. So that's why I said another Sophie. And if I have time, we'll talk a little bit, probably not get into all of it, but we'll talk a little bit about MLD fighting back against Abba and Preach, Destiny, Melanie, Valuetainment, Money, and all of that. I don't know if we'll have time for that. I am exhausted. I just got off of work and I got to be up in, let's see, I got to be up in 7 hours. So we'll see if we'll even get to that. If not, then, obviously I'll edit that part out and we won't talk about it. But regardless, I probably won't get too much into that. So I'll either get into it tomorrow or maybe I'll save it for Monday when I do, when I record and have a little more time. We'll see. But what we're definitely going to talk about for sure is this BBC article. All right. So, hey, you guys want a Volkswagen? Get a Volkswagen, apparently. Anyways, so the article headline is Andrew Tate choked me out until I passed, Andrew Tate choked me until I passed out. UK woman claims. Now, little background: Tristan Tate, Andrew's brother. That's how I saw this article. Was a tweet from Tristan Tate, but he has been. Let's see. Let me get the exact tweet. But he's been talking how the BBC is trying to set Andrew up with set Andrew up in the UK to get charged in the UK. Basically, he's been tweeting that a lot. And if you guys want to follow Tristan Tate, his Twitter handle, whatever it's called, is at Tate the Talisman. All the T's are capitalized. If you want to follow him. Anyways. Sorry. I'm scrolling Twitter at the moment and just trying to get the actual, because he's been talking about this. Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny. So yeah, 23 hours ago, he said the BBC took a huge L. New hit piece coming without an interview from Tate. I'm guessing. Let's wait and see. Turns out to kind of be true. Let's see. He tweets a lot, so I gotta See if I can find it. Or maybe it was Andrew who was talking about this. Anyways, one of them, I don't see it, and I'm not going to waste my time trying to look for it. Oh, sweet. Yeah, sorry. Apparently, it was probably Andrew, but I'm not going to go and look over it. I've already wasted enough time looking over that. Anyways, what I was saying is Andrew has been claimed basically. He said it in one of his tweets, and his Twitter handles at Cobra Tate, I think. Pretty sure that's his Twitter handle. Yeah, at Cobra Tate is his user handle. His that's funny. Sorry. Let's see if I can read. I know I'm wasting a bunch of time, but I'm doing it on purpose so I don't have to go into anything later. Apparently, yes, terrible. I'm an evil person. Let's see. These guys post a lot, you know. I mean, they're in house arrest, so what do you really expect? I know this is boring. I'm just scrolling. Probably should have had all this ready, but I just got home and I took a shower not too long ago. All right. Well, I'm not. Apparently, I can't find it. I don't know. Anyways, I saw that they were talking about this. Well, one of them, or both of them, or someone else, and they agreed. I don't know. Anyways, they were talking about how, like, you know, the BBC's is basically gonna be trying to set up, or the UK was gonna try and set it Andrew up. So, anyways, so that's the headline of this article. I wasted a whole 7 minutes doing that. Oh, right. I might not have to go into anything else and go to bed. Anyways, we're gonna get into this. Just so you know, this is the first time I'm actually reading this article through, per usual. So, yeah, I just saw it and I kind of scrolled through it a little bit and decided that was what I was gonna talk about. I was actually gonna end up just talking about MLD, but you know, this is a little, you know, this is kind of relating to the video I posted not too long ago because I reacted to the BBC interview where the lady rage quit. So that was awesome. Anyways, back to the article. All right. This was by Victoria Derbyshire. I don't know. Fucking British name. Who cares? All right. So, a British woman says Andrew Tate choked her until she lost consciousness while they were having sex and then subjected her to threatening behavior. The woman, who was 20 at the time, says she first met the controversial social media influencer in August 2014. She says they had consensual sex that turned violent when Mr. Tate choked her. Sorry. When she woke up, he was still having sex with her, adding, "I did not consent to it." Mr. Tate said he vehemently denies the allegations against him. The spokesman said Mr. Tate does not condone any violence of any kind towards women, and basically all the sex he has is consensual. Eve, not her real name, told BBC News Night she first met Mr. Tate. Hey, it's God King Tate, right? Anyways, Mr. Tate in a bar in Luton before he was an influencer with million followers. She says he was working as a club doorman and she was a student. She says she had consensual sex with Mr. Tate before meeting him again at her flat later in 2014 in late November of early December. It was then a consensual sexual encounter a consensual sexual encounter became violent, she says. I don't know what this is just, I guess, links to their things. Interesting. Anyway, she says that Andrew put his hands on her throat and strangled her. And when she came around, it was a bit confusing at first, as the influencer was still having sex with me. Eve, now age 30, so this has been 10 years, also subjected her to violent threats, including threatening to kill her until he left the following morning. He kept saying, "I own you, you belong to me," she says. All throughout the night, he was being fairly aggressive, saying horrible things. The next day, Eve says the white part of one of her eyes had completely turned red. Okay, why did that become completely red? Why only one of her eyes? Is she alleging that he was beating her? It's weird. Eve did not report the alleged incident to the police at the time. Asked by the BBC why she did not go to the police to report a rape, Eve said she did not realize she had been a victim of an alleged crime. She added, "I think I knew what had happened. I didn't consent to, but I didn't see it as a rape or sexual assault because this was 10 years ago." Okay. How does the time difference change it? If it's rape and sexual assault now or then it would be now. Like the time span doesn't make a difference. Okay. And also, it wasn't if she claimed the claim she's made is real. It's not sexual assault. It was rape. She said it wasn't until about 6 years later. So when she was 26, when she described the alleged incident to her friends, that she began to think she had been sexually assaulted. Well, if he was still having sex with you when you regain consciousness, that wasn't SA, that was grape. 3 people who knew Eve say they remember her describing what had happened have told her lawyers they are prepared to give evidence in court to that effect. Wait, so these 3 random people are willing to go to court, but not Eve herself? Really? So these 3 random people are willing to go to court, but Eve is not, apparently. Or maybe she claims, she says she will, because yeah, okay. So far she hasn't said she's going to come and prepare to give evidence in court to that effect. So I don't know. She says she wants to share her experience to raise awareness about Mr. Tate and get justice. Hopefully it can teach women what consent looks like and encourage more women to come forward with stories. Oh, interesting. So Eve is the latest British woman to join a planned lawsuit against Mr. Tate, together with 3 others. They are pursuing civil claims for damages. So they're not going after him criminally, they're going after him civilly. We'll get to why that's a big difference. The women, all in their late 20s and early 30s, allege they were victims of sexual violence by Mr. Tate between 2013 and 2016. Addressing the former kickboxer, Eve said, "You're going to be held accountable for what you've done." So last week in that BBC interview, he denied if you watched it, he denied both allegations, defied he was a misogynist, and defended his reputation. And then there we go. All right. So he also dismissed the testimonies of individual women involved in the current investigation who have accused him of rape, and exploitation. Let's see. So, interesting. So, if you are affected by any of the issues in this story, you can contact the BBC Action Line. So, that's the article. Now, obviously, we all agree, rape, SA, all that stuff is terrible crime, horrible. If that happened to my daughter or my wife, I would be very violent against the person who did it. But it is clear that these, 4 it's pretty obvious these four are lying. Let me tell you why. All right. So the reason I say that, I know I sound like a horrible person. What? You don't know you haven't heard their story. You don't know the evidence, blah, 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 blah. No, they're lying. Here's why. One, they're not pursuing any criminal charges. Hold on. Let me see. Maybe they can't. Statute of limitation. So let's see. I'm just looking. I'm just looking up because obviously, okay, well, if you're not 100% sure, I don't live in the UK, so I don't really know the law. So I'm looking at the statute of limitations on SA in the UK. It sounds like there's not. It looks like I'm reading it and it doesn't say there is. What I'm reading now is justifications for enacting one, but it doesn't say there is. I don't think there is. It doesn't see. The only statute of limitations I see are prosecutions of offenses committed abroad, and they're all real complicated, and I don't want to read it. But that's abroad, not in country. So, I mean, for those who don't know, statute of limitations are basically like an expiration date, like a coupon. Like, if you don't use the coupon at a particular time, it expires and you can't use it anymore. Statute of limitations are the same thing with crimes. In the U.S., say a murder, it doesn't have a statute of limitations. So, even if you committed a murder 20 years ago, you could still be tried for that murder. There's other things that have statutes of limitations, like maybe stealing or something, be a couple of years, and you can't do that. Trump, for example, Trump's what he's being charged with actually does have a statute of limitations, but it's kind of complicated. Basically, it's I think it's 5 years or something like that. But to get those 5 years, you have to be in New York. So it only counts how often you're in New York. So if you're in New York once one day out of the year, well, then it only counts as 1 day out of the year, and you're still able to be charged with it until 5 years or something like that. Those are basically statute of limitations. So it looks like, from my very quick, very brief research, that there are no statute of limitations on SA or grape in the UK. But even though there's no statutes of limitations, these four, because Eve is one and there's three others, so four, they're not trying to charge Tate with a crime. They're trying to pursue civil claims for damages. Now, the difference between, might be different in the UK. I'm just going to talk about the US. Maybe it's the same in the UK. I have no idea. It's a garbage country. No, I'm just joking. It's not a garbage country. It is. But no, so in the US, say the threshold to convict someone of a crime is here. The threshold to convict someone of a civil liabilities is here. All right. It's you need 51% in your favor to win a civil liability, while in a criminal case you need 90%. I'm making up the numbers, but with but yeah, that's basically the difference between criminal and civil. Is civil's the threshold to get like convicted of a civil is very low, is a lot lower than criminal. So it's interesting to me that even though there's no statute of limitations and they could still bring charges against Tate, okay, they're not going that route and they're just trying to do a civil lawsuit. Now, again, I don't know the laws in the UK. I have no clue. I don't want to know. But I'm just going to assume it's fairly similar, whereas the civil, where civil damages are is a lower threshold than criminal. Now, here's the problem. If you guys don't remember, Johnny Depp, he lost his lawsuit against like a newspaper that was calling him a wife beater. He lost his lawsuit and he wasn't really able to put on a good defense. I don't remember the whole details on it, but like he was very limited in the defense he could put in, and the judge was corrupt and everything. You guys want to check out Tug, that umbrella guy? I think he does a really good one. I haven't looked at his channel or anything, but when I was watching the Johnny Depp trial on Ricada Law's channel, shout out Ricada Law. But he was saying that Tug did like a really big, like, you know, he was really deep into the Johnny Depp thing. So you guys might want to check out his channel. But basically, you know, Johnny Depp lost his, although he lost his lawsuit with the Sons. And the thing is, if I remember correctly, Amber Turd, she gave a statement on that, and I don't think they were able to cross-examine her. And she was able to do it behind closed doors and all. So I'm a little concerned about this lawsuit, the civil lawsuit. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do the same fuckery with Tate. I don't really know. Like, I'm not a lawyer or anything, clearly, but I don't really know how one pursues, legal. Like if they win, how they would pursue to go about to try and get his finances. I do think he has a dual citizenship with Britain, so I don't fucking know. I honestly have no idea. But back to what I was saying, I don't believe these claims one bit. It seems very convenient to me that after the BBC got wrecked in the interview with Andrew Tate, and if you've watched it, whether with me or just watched it by yourself or watched like Donovan Sharp or watched anyone who covered it, they got owned. BBC got owned so bad. So it seems very convenient that after their ponage, they suddenly found another individual that is making claims against Andrew Tate. And another thing is, okay, she wasn't willing to go to the cops in 10 years, but she's willing to go and talk to a reporter and give an interview and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. But she wasn't willing to go to the cops that could actually do something about it, at least, legal claims or whatever. I don't believe that. It's with all this stuff that's gone on with Me Too and all that stuff, I find it very hard to believe a woman that doesn't go to the cops, but then goes and either says it on a podcast or goes to a newspaper or, basically, like, for me, it's one thing if a woman didn't go to the cops and then she doesn't talk about it ever. That's one thing. Until it's like forced out of her by like, someone like questioning her or some shit. That's one thing. I give more credence to that because that makes a little more sense to me. If you're not willing to go to the cops, you're probably not going to be willing to say it anywhere else, right? Am I just crazy on that? I don't know. But I find it very suspicious on any woman that doesn't go to the police to try and get some, like, justice, some legal justice on someone, but is willing to go and shout it out on, like a podcast. It's happened a couple times on Fresh and Fit. Was willing to do it either on a podcast in front of like 20,000 people, or goes and does it on a news or report, does an interview with a reporter. Like they're willing to talk about it to everyone else except the police that could actually go and file criminal charges and stuff. That's, to me, is just really suspicious, and it gives them less credence. And call me a horrible person, I generally don't believe them when they're willing to talk about it to everyone else except the cops. I don't know. Does that make me a horrible person? Maybe. I don't care. I know I sound like an asshole, but that's my opinion. If you don't like it, that's okay, but that's my opinion. I just don't give much credence to someone that's willing to just say it to a reporter, but not a cop. All right, I've said that point 100 times. All right, so that's going on in the Andrew Tate front. Doesn't surprise me at all. Like, it really doesn't. Like the fact that the BBC got owned and now they're trying to fight back. Like, oh, look, we found another one. Oh, I talked about the Sophie thing already. So this is Eve is just another Sophie. She's Sophie 2.0. All right, no face, fake name. 10 years ago it happened. And back also on this. Look, rape is a horrible crime, and anyone who does it, here's my opinion. Anyone who is, convicted, there's evidence, 100%, not 100, but 100% is really, obvious. It's 100% like, yeah, they did this, they're a horrible person. I'm all in favor in making them eunuchs. That's my position. I don't think they should die, because death is a lot easier. It's a lot harder to lose like everything, like your manhood. That'd be way a harder life than being executed. That's my opinion. I think if you watch Game of Thrones, Theon Greyjoy them. I think we should Theon Greyjoy all grapist. All right, not chemical castration or anything like that. Actual ones. That's just me. But if we're gonna go that position, then we need the evidence. You can't just like Mattress Girl. If you guys don't remember Mattress Girl, Mattress Girl. Oh, you gotta be counting. So Mattress Girl, if you don't remember, Mattress Girl was a chick from Colombia. Yeah, she was in Colombia. She accused a guy of SA, and because she felt like she wasn't being believed, she carried her mattress as a demonstrated art or something to bring the mattress she supposedly was raped on. And so she carried that around campus. I believe she even got to meet, was invited to the White House and everything like that. And there was a big hubbub of everything like that. And let's see, I'm going into this more. But yeah, she did that thing the whole time, and it was a big thing 3 years ago. Yeah, it was a performance art project where she dragged the mattress around campus and kept it all the way up to her graduation ceremony. Apparently, she also released a pornographic sex tape afterwards. Yeah, okay. But I want to say she went to the White House and met like Obama or Anyways, so that was Mattress Girl. And turns out she was lying. Weird. I don't remember why I got on this tangent. Oh, well, so that guy, like, like I don't even remember why I got on this tangent. I think I'm just annoyed by Mattress Girl. Maybe that's why. I don't remember how I got on this rant. But anyways, there's I don't even know. I'm exhausted. I don't know. But yeah. So that's going on with the Tate news. Yeah, I don't believe it. I'm sure there's plenty of people like Destiny that are going to believe it, or he's going to believe it, of course. And as of today, no charges, and they have 22 more days before they have to charge him or let him go. So that's all I'm going to say about that. All right. So let's see. I got 30. So all right. All right. Maybe I'll talk for another 15 minutes. MLD. So MLD has been in MLD's Modern Life Dating. His name's John something. Sorry, I'm tired. What's his Twitter handle? He just released a video yesterday. What's fucking Twitter? I know I follow him on Twitter. I don't know his Twitter thing. Anyways, MLD. He was bit in. He had was in like some hot water. He was on the whatever podcast. Shout out to whatever podcast. I'd totally like to be on, even though I'm a nobody at this point. But that'd be cool. Anyways, so he was on the whatever podcast with it's, if you don't know what the whatever podcast is, it's basically like the California. I think he's in California version of Fresh and Fit. That's basically what it is. And they've had various people on, but anyways, MLD was on, Destiny's wife was on, Destiny himself was on, and we're all having a conversation, and they were talking. Destiny's wife was, that's how I'm going to refer to her, is Destiny's wife, just because if you watch the Fresh and Fit live podcast with Valuetainment, she was very upset when she got referred to as Destiny's wife. So just to piss her off more, and maybe that's burning a bridge. I really don't care. After learning more about her, don't really care. Anyways, so Destiny's wife made up some, they did what they normally do and make up did some extreme scenario and whatever. And so then she made a clip of MLD talking about a woman enduring abuse and made the clip blah 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 blah. Basically made it seem like if you get abused, then as a woman you should endure it. Now, on Donovan Sharp's show and yesterday, where he made his big basically addressing all the controversy. Sorry. He basically he basically explained what he meant. He wasn't talking about if you're experiencing abuse every day, you should endure it just because, blah, 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 blah. He was talking about if, your spouse, if there's an instant of abuse, a single instant of abuse, to endure that and not, just blow up a marriage over a mistake, blah, blah, blah. Whether you agree with that or not, I don't really. I'm like half and half. I kind of agree. I understand what he means by that, and I got what he meant by that when I first saw it. But also, I don't agree. So I'm half and half. I'm a fence sitter on this. I understand what he's meaning, and I can kind of agree with that. Also, I don't agree because, I don't know. With some people, one time is one too many. meaning like if you let it happen once, it's gonna happen again. And I'm sure there are some that they'll in a moment of weakness they do it, and it's and they make a mistake, they feel terrible, and they never do it again. So I get what he means. I don't know. But anyways, he was in hot water for that. Destiny's wife clipped the shit out of that, made him try to make him look bad, and so he addressed that. And it's kind of like when with what they did with Trump. They'd like whatever he said, they like amplify it like by 10,000, and then like you'd actually get down to what he actually said, and you're like, oh, well, what he said may have been bad. It's really not as bad as you made it out to seem. So that's basically how it was with MLD and that stuff. And then so there was that part, and then he addressed like the Abba and Preach video. If you didn't know, apparently the video talking about MLD that Abba and Preach did, it was one of their videos dissing, basically shitting on Fresh and Fit. It was the video, I think. Yeah, it was a response video to the first Fresh and Fit video where where Myron says, hey, I'm talking to you, Abba. I want you to come out here, talk to me face to face. If it comes to fisticuffs, we'll go. I won't hit you though, blah, 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 blah. So the video that was responding to that one, apparently, I didn't know this, but they deleted that video. And apparently it's MLD thinks it's because the one who leaked the messages because in the Abba and Preach video they were talking about MLD. They were basically saying, hey, he glassed some chick. Glass meaning he hit some chick with a champagne bottle at a club in Japan. MLD lives in Japan, FYI. Anyways, so they were just basically like, they got group messages from a snake, and he was, they took everything out of context and made it seem like he basically like beats women in clubs and whatnot. And so MLD was talking about that, and it turns out that the guy who leaked it was a former friend. He's an Irish guy. I highly recommend everyone watch the video because it was really funny listening to this Irish dude freak the fuck out, because apparently MLD saw him at one point. Anyways, okay, before I get into that, I'll go back to this. Anyways, so the story on the woman that got hit with a champagne bottle, it's not true, obviously. MLD, I believe, says he did like hit a Brazilian woman, but that was because they were in a club. A fight happened in the club. She hit him. He was defending himself. Was the basics of it. And then he made jokes about it, like we do. If you're a guy, even if you're a female, you know how when some of your text chains, how much you make jokes. You'll make a joke and be like, and say something, kind of fucked up, but it's an obvious joke. And basically, those were what the text message were. It was a joke taken out of context. I think they're they were just basically making fun of the fact that, he had to hit a woman that, was attacking him and shit. And he was talking about how, he was glassing her by, glassing in this context, meaning hitting her with a bottle of champagne or some shit like that. Anyway, so Abba and Preach did a video about that, and they were claiming that MLD hit this chick with a champagne bottle and scarred her face up. And she wasn't apparently willing to like talk or anything like that to Abba and Preach. And I don't know. They made a whole video about it anyways. I know I'm like drifting at this point. I'm like super fucking exhausted, so I do apologize. But anyways, so Abba and Preach made a video about that. Turns out not true. Shocking. But the guy who leaked all those messages and, probably helped him take it out of context or whatever, or maybe not. Abba and Preach don't need help doing that shit. But apparently him and MLD have beef. At one point, MLD saw, they're both in Japan, by the way. MLD saw him in Japan and pushed him. And this Irish dude freaked the fuck out. And it was fucking hilarious. Sorry, my wife's texting me. Anyways, so this dude freaked the fuck out. And I mean, like, freaked the fuck out. Like, he's screaming like a little bitch and everything like that. Anyways, he claims that MLD punched him. MLD claims that he pushed him. But the entire time, it's a 23-minute video that MLD showed on his show. But the entire time, this dude's freaking out on him. And, so I was like, well, you're going to jail, so you might as well punch me now. Here's my thing, so all this, here's my thinking on it. If MLD punched you, as you claim, it's not true, but as you claim, why then did you not punch him back? Because you would have been totally justified if he hit you first. That's self-defense right there. You have no idea what he's going to do. So, I mean, Japan's laws may be different. I have no fucking clue. But instead, he spends 23 minutes harassing MLD. MLD is walking away with it. He's with his mother at the time. That's another thing. I understand MLD's frustration because he went into it and this dude's basically been talking shit, defaming him, all that stuff. I get why he was angry and why he felt justified in pushing him. He may, I didn't really ask him. I should have, but like he may have this thought like, we'll just get into a fight, and because that seems like the type of guy MLD will fight, shake hands, bury our differences, old school men, So he may have thought, oh, I'll push him, and then we'll get into a fight, and then I'll be the end of the beef, and we'll call it good. And that's why he did it, even though his mom was there, and he may have not expected this Irish dude to freak the fuck out and go crazy on him for 23 minutes. But that's my one criticism of MLD. I understand this guy's frustrating and, is defaming you and you're really, justifiably pissed off. But when your mom's around, probably not a good idea to, start anything physical. Maybe wait till your mom's out of town. And then if you see him again, start something. That's my opinion. Like, if I had beef with someone and I was with my wife or my daughter or anything like, I ain't starting shit. Like, I don't care if he comes up to me. Unless he hits me first, then obviously, fists are going to be flown. But, if I'm not going to just start something, just, that's just me, though. That's my one criticism about MLD when it concerns this incident. But back to what I was saying. If this Irish guy is correct and MLD punched him, MLD is claiming he just pushed him. But if that's true, why didn't you punch him back? And why did you spend 23 minutes freaking the fuck out and screaming at him instead of hitting him and getting into a fight? That really doesn't make any sense to me. So, I mean, clearly MLD obviously didn't punch him. He pushed him. And, MLD, what MLD says is he pushed him, the guy fell to the ground, and then he immediately got his phone. So that's probably more accurate. And yes, I'm a little biased because I like MLD. I like his conduct. I like seeing him on Fresh and Fit and all that. But also just by the dude's actions. Like, if someone punches you, isn't your reaction going to be to punch him back? And then if someone pushes you, I mean, I don't know. Maybe your reaction is to punch him back, but like, MLD admits pushing the guy. He just says, I didn't punch him, I just pushed him. So he admits to pushing him, and the guy's reactions kind of seem more justified. I think if someone punches you, you're more likely to punch him back instead of being pushed. And, but anyways, so, I mean, even if this guy is, is telling the truth and MLD punched him, why'd you spend 23 minutes screaming at the dude, stopping him from leaving, or at least letting his mother get away, and screaming at him and harassing him? It made the Irish guy look worse than what MLD did. like way worse. And like if the cops come and they see you screaming at the dude, odds are they're gonna arrest you before they arrest MLD, because the dude's like, dude, go away, get away. It was kind of funny. Anyways, that's that part. And also I guess he's suing him and charging him criminally. He kind of got into it. I didn't really, I don't really understand it. It's Japanese laws. I don't understand. Let's see. I'm doing all this off the top of my head. I don't remember. And then he addressed. So when MLD was on Valuetainment Money, I think that's what Valuetainment. He was on Valuetainment with Adam Sosnick. He was doing, when he came to America, he was doing like a bunch of podcasts, and that was one of them. He had a hard out at 6 Miami time or Florida time, whatever. He had a hard out at 6, and he reiterated that a bunch of times. But there's a clip where this whale, Angela Knight or something like that. She's fat. That's why she's called a whale. I guess MLD was trolling at one point and called her fat, and she was really upset about it, and so she freaked out on him during the Valuetainment podcast. I just need to see what time I got left on my recording. So she freaked the fuck out and like trauma dumped all over him, and MLD's just standing there. He's like, dude, I don't even remember this. And then this whale thinks she's so damn important that MLD should remember her. Like, look, MLD is apparently troll. He goes on all these podcasts, writing comments. He trolls. Okay, that's what he does. And this whale thinks she's so damn important that MLD should remember that one time he called her fat. And he showed the receipts, and it seems like I think he only called her fat one time. And like the entire time, he's like, I don't remember this. And then all the females, Destiny Wife was on there too, but all the females and Nat, we'll get into Nat later, another like a soon to be whale, they're all piling on him. It's like, oh, you're such a coward. Oh, you should, be a man, own up to what you said, whatever, which he does later on once they tell him what he said. But he's saying there's like, dude, I don't remember this. Like, and they expect this is the problem with a lot of these modern day women. They think they're so damn important that if we say something they don't like, that we should remember them or something like that. Like if I call some chick fat, odds are I'm not going to remember her. And she confronts me like, a couple days later, I probably won't even remember what I said. And I was like, oh, did I call you fat? Okay, well, looks like I'm right. And it looks like he was right because the chick was fat. It is what it is. But she was very upset about it, and it was a clear ambush. And MLD thinks it was an ambush. It looks like an ambush to me. That's what I thought of it. But yeah, it looked like an ambush set up by Nat and this Angela Knight chick, and whatever. And but yeah, basically, and then so afterwards, like I said, he had it hard out at 6, and he confirmed it like a couple hundred times, and he even said it like after the questioning. So then when he leaves, everyone clips that and says he's running away from all, from the whale, the two whales, Angela Knight and Nat. So they're saying, oh, he ran away and all that stuff. No, he had a hard out. He was doing another podcast with Brandon Carter that he was going to. So, obviously that was true. So, but that's another video. And Nat is the co-host of Valuetainment, I guess. She can't read chats very well, and she's becoming fat. It's okay. I know I'm fat shaming. I'm fat too, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm working on it, but I know what I'm talking about. So that's why I can call them fat, because I know what I'm talking about because I am one. I am a fat. Anyway, so that was the Valuetainment. He addressed that, and then he said he's never going to work with Valuetainment again because this was an obvious setup, and it was to me. He thinks Adam had something to do with it. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I don't know. I think Adam knew about it too. And yeah, I know I'm probably burning bridge, but I'm probably not going to be good, like famous enough to actually get on Valuetainment. Who fucking cares? And even if I did become, you know, famous enough to like get on Valuetainment, I probably don't want to go, because Adam's done this a couple times. Like he did this, he exposed that Andrew Tate was married and had kids. It's a very problem. Like I've already said, I have a wife and a daughter. All right. But Andrew was hiding that because, he didn't want his enemies to like dox him and shit like that. Very important. He brought up Sneeko's past. And then he did something with Coach Greg Adams. I don't remember what it was. And then he tried to get like Sneeko to like, when he exposed Andrew Tate's kids, he tried to bring Sneeko along with that. So Adam's done this a couple times. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just some small channel, so I guess my opinion doesn't really fucking matter. But it's really sus to me that's happened a couple times. So that's the reason MLD is not gonna work with Valuetainment Adam Sosnick anymore, which I get. He also addressed Destiny, and some of the shit was pretty eye-opening. Not going to really get into that. Not because I'm afraid of Destiny or anything like that. Mostly because I'm running out of time. It was a lot of crap, and I just don't care. Like, I highly recommend everyone watches the video. It was a really good video. It was a 4-hour video, which is why I'm not reacting to it. I'm just giving a brief summary with my words. Because 1, I don't have the storage. 2, I'd have to do a live stream. And 3, I'm fucking tired. I want to go to bed. But let me look it up so I can just give you the link. Not the link, but yeah, I'll put the link in the description. But the name of the video is "The Truth Revealed About the Viral Attack Against Me." Like I said, it's almost a 5-hour video. So he went through all of it. He showed receipts and all that stuff. So I mean, that's what it is. So if you want to watch it, I highly recommend checking it out. It was really good. He did a really good job. It was really interesting and cool to see. But yeah, I think that's all like the really big stuff he talked about. I'm probably missing a bunch of stuff, but that's okay. Who cares? But anyways, that's all I got for you all today. I am going to finish this video. I'm going to go to, finish this, get it ready and upload it. Well, scheduled to upload. And then I'm going to go to bed and wake up and do it all over again. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure you do what the banner says and like and subscribe. I need to eat the word better. Make sure you check out my Rumble channel. It's the same name. The link is in my channel. You can just click on it. If you got any video suggestions or want to follow me on Twitter, it's at officialwghost. Make sure you check out my Rumble channel and my second Rumble channel. Haven't put anything on there, but it's Gaming with Ghost. I probably should add that to the link. When I start recording, I'll do that. Obviously, that's gaming. That's going to be me playing video games. Let's see. Anything else? No, I don't think I got anything else. Again, I will be reviewing the Flash movie. I'll watch it next week, and then I'll probably do a live stream and review it live with everyone. So yeah. So make sure you check out that. And but yeah, that's all. I'm gonna go finish this shit up and go to bed, and I'm tired. If you haven't could tell, I'm really tired. But yeah, so I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'm going to go and have a wonderful nap. So good day.